Listen close, my child. Tonight, I'm pulling you into a story from my youth, a night that still sends shivers down my spine. Picture a creaky old house, its walls hiding something alive, something angry. It howled, scratched, and waited. This is a tale of the howling in the walls, a mystery I barely escaped. Settle in, keep the lights on, and let Grandpa tell you what happened. It was 1957. I was just 16, staying with my cousin Ellie in a small town called Black Hollow. Her family lived in a big, run-down house at the edge of town, surrounded by woods that seemed to whisper at night. The place was old, with peeling paint and windows that rattled in the wind. I was there for the summer, helping Ellie's dad fix up the place. But that house, it wasn't right. From the moment I stepped inside, I felt watched. The first night, I slept in a spare room upstairs. The bed creaked, the air was heavy, and the walls groaned like they were alive. Around midnight, I woke up to the sound, a low, guttural howl. It wasn't outside. It came from inside the walls, right behind my head. I froze, my heart pounding. The howl grew louder, then stopped, replaced by scratching, like claws digging into wood. I told myself it was just a rat or the wind, but deep down, I knew better. The next morning, I told Ellie. She laughed it off, said old houses make noises. Her dad, Uncle Roy, wasn't so quick to dismiss it. He got quiet, his eyes darting to the walls. Don't go poking around, he warned. Some things are better left alone. That only made me more curious. What was he hiding? Over the next few days, the noises got worse. Every night, the howling returned. Sometimes soft, sometimes so loud it shook the bed. I started noticing other things too. The air in the house felt thick, like it was pressing down on me. Objects moved. A glass sliding across the table. A door creaking open on its own. Ellie started to believe me, but she was scared. Maybe it's a ghost, she whispered one night. I didn't think it was a ghost. Ghosts don't howl like that. One afternoon, I found a locked door in the basement. Uncle Roy kept the key, and he never let anyone down there. I asked Ellie about it, and she said her dad told her the basement was dangerous, that the floor could collapse. But I couldn't shake the feeling that the howling was coming from below. I decided I had to find out. Late that night, when everyone was asleep, I crept downstairs with a flashlight. The house was silent, but the air felt heavy, like a storm was coming. I found Uncle Roy's keys on the kitchen counter and tiptoed to the basement door. My hand shook as I unlocked it. The door creaked open, revealing a dark staircase. The howling started again, louder than ever, echoing from below. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. I had to know. The basement was cold, the air damp and sour. My flashlight beam danced across stone walls covered in scratches. Deep jag marks that looked fresh. The howling stopped, replaced by a low growl. Something moved in the shadows, just beyond the light. I called out, "Who's there?" My voice echoed, but no one answered. Then I saw it. A pair of glowing eyes, yellow and sharp, staring at me from the dark. I stumbled back, my flashlight shaking. The eyes moved closer, and I heard a snarl, low and hungry. I ran, slamming the basement door behind me and locking it. The thing pounded against the door, snarling and clawing. I backed away, my heart racing. Upstairs, Ellie and Uncle Roy were awake, drawn by the noise. Uncle Roy's face went pale when he saw the keys in my hand. "What did you do?" he shouted. Before I could answer, the pounding stopped. The house was silent again, but it felt like the calm before a storm. Uncle Roy sat us down and finally told the truth. That house wasn't just old, it was cursed. Years ago, a man named Amos lived there. He was a recluse, always tinkering in the basement. Rumors said he was into dark things, rituals, and strange experiments. One night, Amos disappeared, but people heard howling from the house for weeks after. The townsfolk thought he'd summoned something that never left. Uncle Roy bought the house cheap, thinking the stories were nonsense. But after moving in, he heard the howling too. He locked the basement to keep it contained. "Why didn't you leave?" I asked. Uncle Roy sighed. "Money's tight, and this is all we've got. I thought we could live with it if we stayed out of its way." Ellie was crying, and I felt guilty for stirring things up, but I couldn't unsee those eyes or forget that growl. Whatever was down there wasn't human. The next night, I couldn't sleep. I kept my flashlight close, listening for the howling. Around 2 a.m., it started again, but this time it was different, angrier, closer. I heard footsteps, heavy and slow, coming up the basement stairs. The door rattled, and I knew the lock wouldn't hold. I grabbed Ellie, and we ran to Uncle Roy's room. He was already up, holding a rifle. "Get behind me," he said. The basement door burst open, and something moved through the house. It was fast, a shadow darting past the doorway. The air grew colder, and the howling filled every corner. Uncle Roy fired a shot, but it didn't stop. The thing crashed through the living room, breaking furniture, then went silent. We waited, too scared to move. At dawn, we found the front door wide open. Whatever was had left, for now, we packed our bags and left that morning. Uncle Roy sold the house to a developer who tore it down. The howling stopped, but I never forgot those eyes. Years later, I looked into Black Hollow's history. Amos wasn't just a recluse. He'd been obsessed with old legends about creatures that live between worlds, things he could call with the right words. I think he called something he couldn't control, and it stayed in that house, trapped until I let it out. Now, my child, let me give you some advice. Trust your gut. If a place feels wrong, don't ignore it. Houses hold secrets, and not all of them are safe. If you hear something strange, howling, scratching, anything, don't go looking. Some doors are locked for a reason. And if you ever feel like you're being watched, leave. Don't wait to find out why. This story's heavy. I know. It still haunts me, and I'm sharing it because I want you to stay safe. If it touched you, hit that like button. It tells me you're listening, and it helps me keep these stories coming. Better yet, subscribe. Join our family, where Grandpa shares the dark truths of the world. Your support means everything. It's like a warm hug to this old heart. Comment below if you've ever heard something strange in your house. I read every word. Stay sharp, my child. Keep your eyes open and your doors locked. Until next time, this is Grandpa signing off.